Tramp. All right, baby, you can call me that. My papa was. Cause I never done working from morning till night, and the money didn't seem to ever come out right. No, no. Papa was a tramp, but he was a lover too. So why can't I do like Papa do? Alright, I like a Papa do. I like a Papa do now. Cause I'm his son. Why can't I be like my daddy? Lord, I'm nasty. Alright, if you wanna call me that, go ahead. I guess Papa was too.
Yo, what's up, YouTube?
Just calling on take.
This is Talking Crazy 88. Back again with another podcast for you.
And jump in your
We're gonna start this episode off
low down
with a bang.
Papa was too.
Oh,
But he was a lover too. So why can't I do like my papa?
hold on, let me slow this down a little bit. Let me slow this down. Happy Father's Day to all the men out there handling business. To all the real fathers out there, the stepfathers, the cousins, the uncles, the great-grandfathers, the grandfathers, and any other man that's raising children. Especially the single fathers. Shout out to all the single fathers out there. Oh, hold on. Let me slow this down. Let me slow this down a little bit. Let me just go ahead and get into it. Oh, guys. You know, what I noticed... Hold on. Let me slow this down. Hold on. I just want to get into some game now. Hold on. I want to just say that before I get into it, well, let me just go ahead and get into it. This is about the third podcast in a row on Father's Day where it had to be marred by Hallmark again, and these ridiculous single mothers out there trying to hijack this day. Wasn't gonna do anything on my Facebook page. I wasn't gonna post anything controversial or try to get into somebody, you know, these ridiculous women who want to post up. Shout out to all the single women the single mothers out there that are playing both roles. I'm not even going to acknowledge these ignorant women today. Well, actually I am. Because let me tell you something. Hallmark is back at it again. Selling those ridiculous Father's Day cards for mom. But nobody really did anything about it. Nobody protested or anything. They were just all passive about, let's let the ladies share the day with us. And like I said before, I'm going to continue doing podcasts on Father's Day, condemning what Hallmark is doing, because a lot of y'all are just too stupid to realize that y'all being clowned. Y'all being taken advantage of. Y'all being made a joke. This is why black folks in general are not being taken seriously. We will never be taken seriously when we were led by a bunch of ignorant ass, low down women, black women, and who want to continue perpetuating this ridiculous myth, who want to continue this divide among black men and black women. I'm 40 years old. never been married, and I damn sure don't have any kids. Thank God. But you know what? When I look at, let me just go ahead and tell you, I ran into my boy. I'm not going to tell you his name, but I ran into my boy about a couple of weeks ago from a relative's graduation party, right? And he showed up with his wife. Beautiful wife. Been together for a long time, have a 5-year-old daughter. And the guy looks seemingly happy. They both look happy together. But I can tell just by looking at her that she's probably not a non-black woman. That's probably why he's happy. You see? And it's a shame that my boy, who is a wonderful father, seems like he's a wonderful father, beautiful daughter, beautiful family. And I went on his page and I acknowledged him. I said, man, happy Father's Day to you, big brother. Because we kind of grew up together. And I told him, look, man, I'm never going to get married or have any kids. So I'm cool. But I'm happy for you. But my brother, he wants to get married and have that family. I'm like, you know what? Hey, man, more power to you, man. I couldn't do it. I won't do it. I'm never going to do it, man. unless she's not an American woman. If she's not American, I don't want to. If she's American, I don't want to date no Americanized woman. I don't want to marry none of these nasty ass feminist, low down women. And it doesn't have to be a black woman either. These white women are just as sneaky. These non-black women are just as sneaky. As long as they're Americanized, they're just as sneaky and low down and trashy. Just like just like any other woman in this country. Just like 99% of the women in this country. Especially the ones that want to shout themselves out as being the mother and the father. Not even giving the man credit for being a sperm, at least being a sperm donor. And saying, hey man, thank you for donating your sperm to me so I can live. At least do something like that. I mean, come on, people. But see, y'all want to go ahead and perpetuate this whole psychological damage in the black. Well, there's no black community, but among black folks, y'all keep the cycle of dysfunction going among black folks. See, you would have to be a nigger to buy that card. You would be fucked up in the. You would have to be fucked up in the head to buy a Father's Day card for your mama. They had their day. They had Mother's Day. Now they're gonna come over to Father's Day, get a card and talk shit about the so-called sperm donor, which wouldn't have never happened if she had used the 22 forms of birth control, which is provided to them at Planned Parenthood or at their local clinic. See, they get that shit for free. But they're just too lazy or stupid, if not synonymous, to use birth control. Not getting on the pill because, it makes me fat. But going through 9 months of pregnancy will definitely make you fat. And especially after you had the baby and there's that pouch that you can't get rid of. And then you got stretch marks all over your body and wrinkles on your ass and everything. And then when you run off the man and you try to get another man to play father to your child, this simp is gonna be looking at your damaged goods body. Look like it was in a car wreck and shit. But he's so much of a simp, he can't say no to the free pussy. He can't say no to a woman taking care of him whenever it's convenient for her until she gets tired of you and runs you out. See, that's what happens, people. That's what really goes down, man, when you're messing with these single mothers. So go ahead, buy that card for your mama. Go ahead, buy that car for your mama. Perpetuate, continuing that cycle of dysfunction. Now, I already did 2 podcasts about it, and I went on for 30 minutes talking about this is just so ridiculous. This is so asinine. This is just I don't know. It's just so damaging and dysfunctional. But it also shows me that you don't really give a fuck about your kids. See, let me just go ahead. I got into a discussion with one of my relatives, and she was reading this book by Dr. Carl Hott and the title of that book is High Price. And it talks about a man who had a one-night stand with some low-down, stank pussy, nasty-ass woman. This bitch got pregnant. Didn't bother to tell him that she was pregnant. Didn't tell him she had a baby. Didn't tell him anything that, whether or not he was a father or not, until he got his education. He went on with his life, got his education, became successful, became a successful college professor at Columbia University. Until one day, this bitch didn't pick up a phone and call him and say, "Hey, well, I have something to talk to you about. Let's come on down. There's something I want to talk to you about. Can you meet me over for dinner?" Cool. Then they can go to dinner, have fun, have a good time. She tells him that, "Hey, you may be a father. I just wanted to let you know that. I didn't tell you for the last 15 years because of such and such reason. But he needs to know now. If you want to meet him, you can meet him." No, this bitch didn't do that. This bitch sent out city marshals to serve him with child support papers. So the brother went in and paid his child support, did whatever, but he didn't want anything to do with the child. Until 10 years later, when the child came back, found him, and decided to tell him, say, "Hey, I kind of wish we had gotten together," or whatever. So they were really cordial about their meeting. But my relative got mad, was upset, not because the bitch decided to go ahead and disrupt this man's life by bringing this news to him at 16 years later. Not year number 1, not year number 5, but 16 years later, after the child has already grown up into the mid-teenager, in the middle of his teenage years, and then 2 years away from becoming reaching the age of majority, where, hey, I don't need a father in my life. I may or may not need a father. She argued with me down to me because this man should have made a better effort in seeing his child. And I told my relative, if a stank pussy, nasty ass, low down bitch did that to me, sent city marshals to my house, serving me with child support papers for a child that I've never met, never seen, never knew nothing about after 16 years, of course I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to be eager to meet this child. I wouldn't want to meet him either. I would do what the court has told me to do, because that's what the bitch wanted, was money. I'll give him the money, but I won't go down there without an attorney and a paternity test. I won't do that. I'll do that. I'll do it at the behalf. I will spend the money on an attorney, to fight this shit, or to really straighten this shit out, to make sure this is really true. Because you got some low down bitches pulling this scam all the time just to get money, just to put a nigga on child support just to get some money. That's what that buckethead bitch did to Michael Jordan. Filed a paternity suit against him on a child that wasn't his, and this bitch, and it backfired in her face when she had to pay $6,000 of attorney's fees to Michael Jordan. And I wish more fellas would do that shit. Whenever a bitch accuses you of child support, go ahead and just fight that shit. Get an attorney, save up your chips. That's why you got to save your chips, fellas. Don't go out there spending money on bullshit, strip clubs, rims. Save your money just in case some bullshit might happen like this. You might sleep with the wrong bitch. But then again, when somebody says to me, Danny, you sound, talking crazy. You sound bitter. You sound bitter, brother. That was just one bitch, man. Not all bitches are like that. I ain't say all bitches were like that. I said 95% of Americanized women in this country are buckethead bitches. That's all I said. And I don't want to deal with 95% of them. Okay? But then again, when you go out on a date with one of these bitches, they're all, you're going to bound to run into some sorry ass buckethead bitches. 95% of them are sorry. They're not even worth my time. Fellas, a lot of these women are not worth sticking your dick into their pussy. It's not worth it. You're not going to like each other anyway afterwards. So why bother? Why waste your time? Don't waste your time on these buckethead bitches who going, and if you unlucky enough to get one of these hoes pregnant, then they're going to say that you are a sorry ass father. This is what my relative was trying to say, that this man was an irresponsible sorry ass father just because he didn't want anything to do with a stranger, which a son who was literally like a stranger to him. This is not the movies. This is real life. People, when they are away, there is no connection. So there's nothing that this brother could have said to this boy that would have changed his life. Or in fact, it might, if he had showed up, that might have made it worse, because you don't know that situation of that buckethead bitch. That bitch tries to send you, put child support on you after 15 years. Needless to say, it would be a hostile situation. I guarantee it. Either on her part or on your part, brother, because you might want to choke that bitch. You hear me? You feel me? So we got into a 2-hour discussion arguing over whether or not this man could have made an impact on this boy's life. Not thinking that the boy could have been confused and it may have been psychologically damaged because he went 16 years probably knowing enough, probably identifying with another man that may be his father, going through 16 years of, or maybe not even knowing his own father, or going through that pain of not having a man around. This was a sad story, and I kind of wish my relative would see it that way. This was sad all the way around. Okay, this wasn't. Let me tell you something. This was all greasy on every. Like I told my relative, I said there was only 2 losers in this. 2 losers and 1 victim. The loser is the woman who just filed the child support, didn't give a damn about the child, and just wanted to file child support papers on this man just because he was successful. Knowing that if this man was a crackhead, she probably wouldn't have never done it. She would probably never file those child support papers. So just because he became successful and made something of himself, She just wanted that money. And that's what a lot of these punk ass bitches do. They just file child support because they want the money. That's what it's all about, people. But he's a loser in it. He's a loser because the brother is a loser because he got cheated out of 16 years on potentially raising a child to be a decent human being. He was a loser because his life got disrupted by some buckethead bitch who wanted to just get his money. See, fellas, you got to go ahead and protect your assets. Whatever assets that you have, you better go make sure that you protect it. Go see an attorney. Go see an accountant. Go see a financial professional in protecting whatever assets that you have. I don't care if you have $5 and a stick of gum, $5 in the bank and a stick of gum in your drawer. You go ahead and seek professional advice on how to manage your money and protecting your assets. Especially when you go to court with these buckethead bitches out here. And stop being so juvenile with your money. Stop being so juvenile and immature. Because these women are playing for keeps. These buckethead bitches are playing for keeps, man. These punk ass bitches are playing for keeps. Okay? And they don't give a fuck about you. And they don't give a fuck about that child that they reared. Okay? Because if they did, they wouldn't have children outside of marriage. There would be some sort of agreement. Because let me tell you something. I wouldn't have anything to do with a child after 15 years because there was no LOVE involved. And certainly I wasn't going to marry this punk ass bitch. Because what she did was such a punk ass bitch made move to do that. Sending marshals over to serve him with child support papers. Too cowardly to pick up a phone and tell this man that you have a child on the way. That you may have had a child. I didn't have time. I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to disrupt him, but he needs to know. That would have been the mature thing. That would have been the mature way of handling that situation. But I'm sorry. I just went on a diatribe. I'm sorry. It just got so outraged. I was on my nigger outrage on this one. Because I don't like to see men being labeled as deadbeats or losers when we didn't do anything wrong. When anything or any action that was perpetrated on us, we got to turn the cheek. We got to be a bigger man. We got to be above we got to be above the shit that this punk ass bitch created. So instead of women being on our side, the so-called good women being on the side of guys like us, being proactive, because I'm certain that there were some women out there that are proactive, but they only been proactive because they seen their father or their brother or their cousin, even their son go through the holy hell of being raked over the coals, being called a deadbeat dad, being called a loser. Okay? But I'm just going to leave it at that. But I just want to go ahead and shout out to all the brothers out there that are handling their business. And don't let these punk ass bitches let you, try to shame you. And certainly, if you see some punk ass bitch shouting out their single mother's friends, happy father, shouting out Happy Father's Day to their punk ass single mother's friends, go ahead and check them. It's okay to go ahead and check them. Because this is not the day to pull this bullshit. This is not the day to start this nonsense. This is a day for guys. This is a day for our men. This is the day for good men out there that are handling business. And I want you guys to go ahead and continue handling your business. And those of you out there, or those of you out there who have a rocky relationship with your punk ass baby mama, don't let that deter you from your relationship with your son or daughter, your children. If you have an excellent relationship with your children, continue having that relationship with your children. Fuck her. You know, continue being a presence in their lives. And if you're not a presence in their lives, believe me, I totally understand. It probably is not your fault. Well, listen, I want you guys to go ahead and enjoy your day. I'm going to head off to Hooters, have some wings and beer, and to celebrate a day remembering my own father, who was a wonderful father, a wonderful person, and an awesome human being. And I wish he was with us today. Listen, this is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here, people.